welcome to the first ever Wing Chun DC online tutorial. Today I'm going to be discussing Chi Sao session I did with Luke, and I'm going to kind of analyze what is happening, what I'm doing, how I'm dealing with his attacks, some of the structure that I'm using, and kind of basically how I kind of think about it while I'm doing G-Cell. So hopefully you find this useful and you can take something away from it. Anyway, I'll get going. Again, Luke, you're probably watching this. Apologies, I don't mean to use you as my Wing Chun dummy, but I thought this could be a fun way to kick off the online tutorial. So anyway, I'll get started. I'm going to press play here. So I'm going to be kind of critical of Luke and myself if I see any mistakes. But you're looking now at, if you see here, like how I roll my shoulder. But when Luke is pushing in on me, I'm just going to rewind that a little bit here. So if you look, Luke pushes me there. And as he pushes me, I yield with the pressure, right? So he pushes in, I yield with the pressure. So therefore he can't find anything. He has no structure to hold on to, right? So this is what we've been doing in class. We've been looking at that as the kind of the first principle, the yielding principle. So as he struggles to try to find my structure, he actually puts himself slightly off balance and he's a little bit more vulnerable. So when I'm touching Luke here, when I put my hands on Luke here, you can kind of see how I'm not pushing him per se, but I'm trying to send energy down into his feet, and thereby disconnecting, trying to feel what's happening inside of his body and disconnecting him from the floor. Okay, so Luke here, his elbows are out a little bit here, so he's having a hard time stopping me from coming in on him. We'll replay that again. So look there, I'm pushing his elbow out and I strike to the neck, strike again to the neck. So he could solve this problem if he kept his elbow in. So Luke's doing a pretty good job there. Oh, Justin's camera work is not the greatest over here. Sorry, Justin. I think here I'm telling Justin to come back and film me. Anyway, so look, if we look what's happening here, Luke is chasing my hands a little bit, so we'll shift that back. So you see how he pushes down there. There's a moment for him actually to go. He could actually go in there rather than follow my hand down there. He could actually now just be going in instead, following my hand. Because he's following my hand, he's not going in. So I will use this as a way to take advantage of him, knowing that there isn't a huge amount of threat, right? There's only threat when Luke is actually attacking me, but he's actually just pushing onto my arm, so there's no threat. So that means I can move forward without much problem. Luke is doing a good job here of trying to cover his center line there. That's actually really, really well done. Although his shoulders are, if you look at Luke's shoulders here, his shoulders are hunched up a little bit. And that means that it gives me more of an opportunity to seize his body as we connect. Although his arm positioning is better here. He's trying to keep his elbows in. Elbows are out a little bit then again, so that's how I'm able to just go in and strike, so he can't see the strikes coming. And then that bit there, I come underneath, I'm levering underneath. So if you watch here, I come underneath there, and his feet are disconnected from the floor, and I can push him into the wall. A lot of this is because his posture he's not trying to get underneath me at the moment. He's just trying to stop the attacks with his arms. And it kind of cascades from there. He's still doing a really good job of trying to hold his form and structure. There you go, that's good. Excellent work from Luke there. But I'm putting a lot of pressure on him now. And there you go, I've come underneath him again, seized his body. and I've come in, the elbows are out, so I'm taking advantage of that. Although he's giving me a lot of problems here, and Luke's doing a good job here of trying to control my elbows. So that's actually really good. That's what you want to do when the attacks come. If you control the other person's elbows, if you can keep your hands on the elbows and start to try to take the elbow positioning away from your opponent, that's actually really good. Okay, what's happening here? So again, I'm trying to just see how my arm is flat against my body here. This is some of the stuff that we've been working on. That could be a bong cell. If it was further out, that would be a bong cell. But I've basically collapsed the bong cell. So he's essentially just putting pressure straight on my body here. And now I'm using yielding concepts here. As he pushes in, I turn my body there so he can't find my center of gravity. So this is really important. As a kind of an emergency technique, really, is to be able to use your body instead of your arms. So therefore, not really emergency. Basically, he has no. It doesn't matter to me where he puts pressure. If he puts it on my arms, he puts it on my body. It's all the same thing to me. It's just pressure. If you look at Luke's structure here, he's leaning in a little bit like that. So when he is putting pressure, he can't get much leverage here. So he's leaning forward too much, and he can't get pressure, or he can't get as much pressure unless he uses his hips, which he's not doing here. So he's trying to use. That was actually pretty good. Luke tried to get his hips underneath me, but I kind of figured out what he was doing, and then got lower than him myself, and got underneath and was able to push him back. So there. Now it's just a battle of who gets underneath. Luke's arm. He's learning here. You can see Luke's thought process here. He's really thinking about this and doing a good job of matching my movements. So now it becomes a battle of who can get lower. Again, hand positions are pretty good actually, Luke, but at the expense a little bit of the structure. Okay, so now this is more, I'm attacking more, as you can see with those punches, right? Remember, I talk about this a lot, guys. So look, when I go to punch, right, you'll notice that every time I punch, the punch turns into something else, right? Because he's defending himself well. So I don't try to force it. I just flow with it. There, it doesn't hit. And then the hits come when my arms are completely relaxed. And my arms are completely relaxed if I have no real preference as to whether it's a punch or not. So all the punches, they started out as a punch. Luke kind of deflected it. So then my hands just either went to bong sao or tan sao, without any kind of resistance. And then that allows me to pick up on mistakes. Okay, so here, this is more yielding. So we'll go back to that again. Here, he pushes there. Okay, again, from a Wing Chun perspective, see my elbow is out of position. From a Wing Chun perspective, it's not. That's actually kind of technically it's a mistake, but what I'm doing here is I'm kind of showing that you can. It doesn't matter, even if you lose Wing Chun structure. It's your body and your body posture that matters the most. So even though he's pushing on me, he's trying to find my structure. He's trying to find my feet, and he's trying to disengage me from the floor. He can't find it because I'm yielding to him. And as I yield, he pushes, yield again. There, come underneath. This is, again, the form from Luke is good here. He's just figuring a little about the interconnection of his body. There, Luke's his elbow position is good. There, he's just there. See, I'm allowing him to kind of go straight into my body, and he puts pressure on. If he doesn't have structure, he won't be able to do anything to me. So he's trying to push me back, but there isn't enough structure there, and I'm yielding with it as well. And then I come and push him away. that I'm yielding a lot here. I think it's important. I'm not necessarily saying it's like the right thing to do all the time, but it's a good skill to have because it can get you out of trouble if you know how to yield properly. And now I'm starting to put more pressure on Luke coming forward. My hands are yielding a lot here. You can see my hands moving. Like every time he puts pressure on it, there is no tension in my arms. And that's so that he can't get a reading on anything that's going on in my body. The more tense I am, the more tense my arms are, the more tense my shoulders are, the more chance he has of moving my body around. So I'm really trying to be very, very loose here. And then take the strikes when there's an opportunity. I don't take the strikes because I'm trying to. I take the strikes because the opportunity's there. So if it's there, I'll take it. If it's not, I won't. So Luke's shoulders are up a little bit. So he's having a hard time getting in. Or he's having a hard time moving me, and I'm finding his structure that I can move around. And I push him into the wall. Although structure is getting way, way, way better. Luke's structure is really coming along very, very well. So yeah, he got me there, right? So I was basically kind of messing around too much, and Luke made me pay for that by coming underneath. Let's rewind that a little bit. Okay, here we go. So right, let's go back a little bit further. Oh, sorry. So I'm doing lots of yielding, trying to show off how good at yielding I am, and Luke makes me pay for that and comes in and takes my feet away. So good job there, Luke. Excellent. So then I'm now like trying to get my revenge on Luke here by putting a lot of pressure, and there you go. That's the end of the cheat cell session. So anyway, guys, I hope that was informative. If you've got any questions, just email me. I'm going to send you this video, and yeah, take a look and go through, and just try to sort of take what you can from it, and hopefully this kind of helps you think a bit more about what you should be doing in Chisao. And at least how I'm thinking about it, because I want you guys to be able to kick my ass one day. Yeah, study it and get back to me. All right, thanks everyone.